my influences as a guitar player. I was into John Petrucci a lot. You went to high school with him? That's what's up. Yeah, he's an extremely well-rounded guitar player, and he put out a video called Rock Discipline that was like pretty integral in helping me develop some technique and kind of understand a little bit more. Paul Gilbert had a lot of instructional videos too. And then Frank and Bali kind of got me into the whole economy picking thing. So that was cool. And then, I mean, beyond that, there was bands like Meshuggah and like Candiria, you know, Between the Bear and Me, like kind of newer bands that like were doing progressive metal that I thought was really cool. So that's kind of where a lot of my style comes from. So yeah.
You have a lot of the songs on that album are like really, really involved and like sort of like complex, like you use some really asymmetric time, like some really cool things like that. Like where do you pull from that? Did you go to school for this sort of thing?
Okay, he's asking about the complexity of the songs and where I guess those ideas came from and if I went to school. All this music, or majority of it, was written before I ever attended, like, you know, any music school. I went to the Atlanta Institute of Music in like 2006, but I'd already been playing guitar for like over 10 years at that point, so a lot of my technique actually just came from watching those instructional videos. As far as compositionally, it's more from other bands that were doing progressive metal, like most directly. I just heard cool stuff there. The odd meter stuff is like, it can be as simple as adding a beat to a phrase or dropping a beat from a phrase, and all of a sudden you have an odd number, so it's no real, like, but Meshuggah is kind of like where we draw it directly from as far as a lot of this stuff. And then Dream Theater is responsible for a lot of the more prog sounding parts, so yeah. You got a question?
One of the guys you mentioned started out on 6. What got you from that point where you shifted from 6 string to 8?
I went from 6 to 7, and then to 8. I joined a band, and they were kind of playing a lot of. It was the first metal band I joined, and actually they were playing a lot of songs on a detuned 6 string. And then the lead singer was actually the Guitars of Animals as Leaders, and he had an Ibanez Universe, like the original one, and Nintendo green pickups and all that. And he was like, let's try these songs on a 7 string because it makes more sense. And just through playing that, you know, his guitar really like fell in love with it. So I got one of my own. I stayed on 7 string for probably 5 or 6 years. And then Meshuggah started doing the 8 string stuff, and I thought it sounded really cool, so I got a luthier to build me an 8 string guitar. And then Ibanez started doing them, so, and a few other people.
Seeing where you are now and how happy you are with your songwriting, is this what you wanted to be doing while you were in Reflux?
Yeah, actually. Reflux had a vocalist, and we were kind of playing by the rules as far as metalcore and stuff like that were concerned. And so there were certain things that, you know, musically that we wouldn't do in the band because they didn't really fall into like the box that we were trying to fit in. Even though Reflux still had a lot of progressive ideas, and a lot of the songs in Animals as Leaders would have been Reflux songs. But Animals as Leaders is definitely like a no holds barred sort of like, it's my musical ideal so far, so yeah. Anyone else have one? You got one?
Can it be irrelevant from Animals as Leaders?
What did you say?
Can it be irrelevant from Animals as Leaders?
Yeah, sure.
Is Tram going to be playing on the island soon?
On the island?
Yeah.
That's here, right?
Yeah.
We don't really have any touring plans. It's a side project, and everyone else is kind of involved in other things, so it's, whenever we have the availability is when we'll kind of get together, but I hope so. If not on the island, then in like the city.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
North by Northeast.
North by Northeast. Is that a real festival?
No, we should make it though.
Alright, find some promoters and we'll figure it out. Alright, I'm gonna do another tune. Hopefully the levels are straight. Can you guys hear anything?
Oh, yeah.
Alright.
It's just me. It's just me.
Thanks a lot. That's a song called Wave of Babies, and it's actually not on the disc, but we're releasing a vinyl, and it'll be on there. And the insert of the vinyl is 3D, and then it comes with 3D glasses, which is pretty cool. So be sure to pick that up. Anyway, any questions about that song? You got one?
Where'd you come up with the name Wave of Babies?
Actually.